Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those of you watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. And today we're talking about The Little Princess, starring Shirley Temple, doing Shirley Temple things in this movie. Okay, so I tried to come in with like a hot take here, but anyways, and I couldn't really come up with anything better than that. Shows you how smart I am. But anyways, let's get into The Little Princess. And like I said, it is Shirley Temple basically being Shirley Temple during its time period. She's a young girl. She's very optimistic. She sees the best in everybody. Even when things get down and gloomy for her, she's rises above that and still treats people with kindness. This is basically The Little Princess here. Though this movie does touch on some deeper themes and throughout life. One of which is how war tears families apart. In this movie, Shirley Temple doesn't have a mommy, so her father, who's in the military, takes her to this, I guess it's like a girl boarding school type of place, to watch over her while he goes to South Africa to fight the Boers. And during this time, because he's wealthy, Shirley Temple is treated like a little princess. She gets privileges that the other girls don't really get because her father is, I guess, a big shot and stuff like that. However, once it's found out that her father dies and some of his financial stability isn't what everybody thought it was, she gets quickly removed from her princess status into a servant, where she has to wash the dishes, cook, do chores around this boarding school because now her father can't pay the dues, I guess you can say, so she has to earn her keep. But it's all about the friendships that Shirley Temple made before these events that helps her pull through. She becomes friends with a guy from India who's a servant to a grumpy grandpa. And, you know, when she's up in an attic where there's a hole in the roof and it's freezing cold, I don't know how she survived without getting pneumonia. He cleans it up for her, makes it ice and warm for her. You got stuff like that, right? Typical Shirley Temple movie. She got a couple of songs and dances in this. Very good, very well choreographed. The story does, though, have some deeper meaning to it. Like I said at the beginning, tearing families apart. Her father goes away. It also touches upon the man's duty to go to war for his country. This is before World War II. This is 1930s movie and after World War I. But the time of events takes place before World War I. We have a man and a woman who are in love with each other. They got a little bit separate social status. Another theme out through this movie, especially with Shirley Temple's role. Princess loses money, now she's a servant. Everybody treats her like jerk. Before, when she had money, she was praised and everybody treated her with respect. With this one, the woman, try to think, the woman doesn't have any family, no real good high social status. She's a teacher. The other guy comes from a wealthy family, though he kind of disowns him a little bit because his grandpa is a grump. So there's a little bit of conflict in that. The grandpa doesn't want him to be in with this woman. And then the school board president, I'll call her president, basically raised her, and she doesn't want her to leave, and she wants to kind of use and abuse her for her teaching abilities and for her kindness. So you got that little thing going on in this movie. And then at the end, lo and behold, Shirley Temple's father doesn't die. He's actually alive and well. But there is a lot of holes in this, you know, while it basically reflects around, you know, even when life gets hard, you should always be cheerful, treat people with respect, no matter what their social status is. Men should go to war for their countries. I don't know exactly off the top of my head where we at in the world. This is 1930s. I'm pretty sure Germany's making moves. Maybe the attitude of the world is conflict could be coming up and men may need to go fight for their countries again, and it's their duty to do so. Maybe that's what's going on with that theme and why they put that plot line in this movie. This out there guessing without really doing any research on that part. Anyways, there are some plot holes, like the grandpa, he's always grumpy, treats her kind of bad, but all of a sudden, He's on her side at the end. It's like, whoa, what's going on? And then they shoehorn the Queen into this movie there at the end. She's in there for like 30 seconds, and all of a sudden, she's Shirley Temple's best friend. Without, really explanation why. It also goes back to being honor for your country, where even though the dad's pretty much has head trauma and is an injured soldier, when the Queen comes by in her wheelchair, he's expected to stand up and salute her. He's got that theme in there too. So The Little Princess is a pretty good movie. Pretty good Shirley Temple movie. Good example of what her acting career was about. You can tell why she was such a famous child actor, and probably one of the best child actresses to live ever. She's definitely in the top 5. There's some good ones, but Shirley Temple, especially at that age, she gets the mannerisms, she gets the facial expressions. The delivery lines, perfect as a kid at that age. It's terrific. It's a wonder to see, and you understand why she became such a popular figure back in the 30s. And overall, it's a must-see movie. You got to see it just so you get this for the history of it all. If you're like a history buff of movies, it's something to watch. And if you want to know why everybody likes Shirley Temple and why she was a big deal, it's definitely a movie you would have to see just to see the greatness of Shirley Temple in this movie. So that's what I got to say about this. What do you guys think about this? Leave a comment in below, and have a great day. Bye.